Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back from our small commercial break. Sorry about that, but Randy Orton with a neck breaker on McIntyre. Also, I had to restart my YouTube stream just because, it was being difficult and shit. So this is going to be 2 parts, not just one whole thing. Randy Orton says his wife has titties this big. But anyway, we ain't going to talk about that. And Randy with a snap suplex on the outside of the ring. Small? LOL, JK, welcome back. Yep. Anyway. Oh! And a snap suplex on the outside again. Now Randy with an uppercut and a clothesline. And now Randy. What about boobs? I didn't say anything. Anyway. And now Randy Orton with a scoop slam. And now Randy with this neck crank. Little classic neck crank. Anyway. And Drew trips Randy Orton. Randy trips McIntyre. And Randy Orton's getting fired up. He is getting fired up right now. Randy Orton wants to win the WWE title again. And probably like 50 more times after that. But anyway. Now Randy with a neck breaker on the outside of the ring. And Randy Orton setting it up. You all know what that means. RKO on Drew McIntyre. 1, 2, and McIntyre kicks out. Drew McIntyre kicked out of the RKO. And another RKO. 1, 2, and McIntyre kicks out of another RKO. Drew McIntyre kicks out of 2 RKOs in a row. Oh my God. And McIntyre now raining down right hands on Randy Orton. And Randy, fireman's carry position, and dropping him on the top rope. And Randy going for possibly a 3rd RKO and another RKO. And McIntyre, look at the blood on McIntyre's face. And McIntyre kicks out of another RKO. How the hell did Drew McIntyre just kick out of 3 RKOs? Oh my God. And Randy with a clothesline. And a second one. And the power slam. And McIntyre. Oh. And Drew now looking at Orton. Setting him up. And the future shock DDT. 1, 2. And Randy kicks out. And now Drew picking up Randy. Look at the strength of the WWE Champion. And he just throws Randy right on his back. And Randy striking a pose as he usually does. But anyway. And McIntyre throws Randy Orton over the top rope. My goodness, and now McIntyre has him up. What the hell is McIntyre looking at? He's looking at the stairs. And he just plants Orton right on the stairs. And oh no, wait a minute. Oh my goodness. tossing Randy Orton on his back again. Some sort of gut-wrench powerbomb. And bouncing his face off the announce table. And, oh, man. Now Randy dragging McIntyre to the announce table. Now Randy bouncing McIntyre's head off the table. McIntyre counters with a fireman's carry. And a flatliner by Drew. My goodness. Now McIntyre. Throws Orton in the ring. And now, oh, he just booted the side of his head. He just booted Randy Orton's head. And now McIntyre, oh, Randy with the left hand. And a float over into a neck breaker. Once again. Saw that earlier. And Drew. And now, oh my God, and McIntyre with a stomp to the arm of Randy Orton. And a big boot. And Randy trips him. And now Orton looking at McIntyre. McIntyre's already bloodied open, and oh my God. And now, oh no. No, Randy, no, come on. The punt. The punt to McIntyre. Randy might become the new WWE champion. Nobody kicks out of the punt, but McIntyre does. Drew McIntyre just kicked out of the punt. Oh my God, I've never seen anybody in my entire life kick out of that punt kick. And I mean anybody. And now Randy throws McIntyre off the ropes. McIntyre counters. Now Randy and an exploder suplex on Drew McIntyre. And Drew, he's got Orton. Oh my God, what the hell? Oh, and a pile driver from McIntyre. A pile driver from the WWE champion. And now, setting up Randy Orton. Climb. Oh, Randy countered again. Orton countered another claim. We aren't going to talk about how my controller just died, but Randy Orton setting up for another RKO. This is the fourth one of the match. RKO again. 1, 2, and Randy Orton's the new WWE champion. I know, there goes the controller, right? It always starts dying about like this time of the day anyway, so Randy Orton is the new WWE champion. 4 RKOs and a punt. And that's what took it. That's how much it took Randy Orton to become WWE champion. Yeah, he's putting in the work. And McIntyre, I mean, he got a future shock in, but Randy Orton was in control most of that match, which is kind of rare. I will clip that. God damn it. Anyway. But Randy Orton is WWE champion. And probably one of the bloodiest matches I've seen all night. Randy Orton is WWE champion. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to feel about that. But anyway, I mean, this ain't no Hell in a Cell. This is not. I swear. If I do another title match between Randy and Drew wins the title back at the next pay-per-view, I'm gonna cry. Because that's almost what happened in real life, except, well, it wasn't at a pay-per-view. It was like 2 or 3 weeks later on Raw. But anyway. But Randy Orton is WWE champion. Man, I thought Drew was gonna win that one. I'm not even gonna lie. But after this, I gotta take a piss. You know, and go to the bathroom and all that. But I'm gonna give my whole, preview on this show. This show was actually pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. This show was pretty good. I mean, Matt Riddle and Heath Slater, we saw Justin Gabriel come in and help Heath Slater beat Matt Riddle. I don't know why, but we saw Matt and Justin shake hands, just last week on Raw. Or just the other week on Raw. And now Justin Gabriel comes in, hits him with a butterfly pile driver, and helps Heath win against Matt Riddle. Then we got Shayna versus Asuka. Decent match. Actually, you know what? I'll give Heath and Matt, out of 5 being, the best match, I'll probably give Heath and Matt, a 2.5 or something. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. It was okay. It was a standard AI type of match. So, yeah. Asuka versus Shayna. Asuka retained. Probably the worst match of the entire pay-per-view. I'm just saying. Asuka and Shayna, probably the worst match of the entire pay-per-view. I'm not gonna lie. I give that one a 1.5 out of 5. That was not that great, but... Slapjack versus Carl Anderson, and when we saw AJ Styles come out during the match, distracted Carl Anderson. Slapjack did try to capitalize on it, but of course Carl Anderson coming out with the win. But I give that one also a 1.5 out of 5 as well. It wasn't bad. It could have been it could have been better. But actually no, not 1.5. I'll give this a 2. It wasn't as bad as Shayna and Asuka, but it still wasn't great either. So, and The Fiend versus Ambrose. Oh man. I gotta give that at least a 4.5 out of 5. That was probably one of the best matches of the night. It was a brutal match, really. The Fiend pretty much destroyed Ambrose. Ambrose basically put The Fiend through hell, or attempted to, in a way of sorts. But it was still a really good match, really brutal as well, so I'll give that a 4.5 out of 5. Probably the best match, hands down. Shelton and Cedric versus Kofi and Woods for the Raw Tag titles. You know what? Not the best match either, but not the worst. I'll give that, you know what? I'll give this Hurt Business versus New Day Raw Tag title match probably a 3.5. The Hurt Business dominated the New Day. And in quite an impressive and dominating fashion. It wasn't a bad match, but it wasn't great either, like I said. Ricochet, AJ, and Lashley. AJ coming out new United States champion. I like that. I'm kind of glad Lashley lost, because, in real life, I hate Lashley. Fuck Lashley in real life. I hate him. Anyway, but that match was probably a 3. This match was probably a 3, in my honest opinion. Lashley, AJ, and Ricochet, probably a 3. Randy versus Drew. This was a pretty good match. I gave The Fiend and Ambrose a 4.5. I'll probably give Randy and Drew a 4.5 as well. Randy, he hit 4 RKOs and a punt, and McIntyre kicked out of 3 RKOs and a punt. And he kept fighting. That man McIntyre, he was resilient. Not gonna lie. But yeah, that was a pretty good match, I would say. Randy and Drew and The Fiend and Ambrose are probably the 2 best matches of the entire card. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, we're gonna simulate to Raw. We're not gonna do Raw like just this second, really, but I'm gonna simulate to it just so I have it ready. But I'm gonna end this